Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect those of Pacific Telestations, our employees, or advertisers.
Half a day. My name's Chris Malafunkshun Barnett. You might know me from radio, TV, stand-up comedy, or even social media. I've got something to say about everything. Sometimes I joke, sometimes I'm serious. But no matter what I do, I'm always Malafunction. Welcome to my show. I'm Chris Barnett. Welcome to episode 2 of the Malafunkshun Show. I had a great show in store for you guys. Coming up, we're going to meet some people you probably see when you're on the road, but most of them aren't going anywhere. And we'll take a look at some heavy issues with public safety here in the island's capital, the Guam Legislature building. And you know why they put it across the street from the church, right? That way the senators could go right into confession after session. You know, the people of Guam, most of us want our leaders to step up. Well, here's a little piece about a senator who stepped down. It was a long day at the Legislature in Guahan, with senators working through their lunch hours into what would become an eventful Committee on Rules meeting.
And I would like to, at this time, entertain a discussion and potential nominations to assume the chairmanship of the Committee on Rules at this time.
Until Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi questioned exactly what Committee on Rules Chair San Nicolas was saying.
Objection. Are you resigning?
I'm passing the torch.
Are you resigning or not? I mean, I don't understand what passing the torch means.
I'm opening up the floor for nominations for the chairmanship so that I may step
out
away
of order
and
unless there's a vacancy.
Excuse me? At this time, given the lack of nominations, I would like to advise that the body consider the vice chair of the committee, Senator Nelson, to be afforded an opportunity to serve as the chairman of the Committee on Rules.
I like to call her Sleepy T because, well, she always looks sleepy. One thing about Senator Talina, she doesn't really have a way with the words things.
But this is a good thing because it requires a certain sense of vigilance.
Back to Vice Speaker Terlahi, who pointed out the irony that the Committee on Rules chairman didn't know the rules when it came to resigning.
The Speaker shall reorganize, eliminate, or reassign to other standing committees the duties, functions, and budget of the committee in question, at the Speaker's option with a majority vote of the Committee on Rules.
One thing was for sure about San Nicolas's resignation. It was a curveball from out of left field.
Still try to understand exactly where you're coming from.
Number one, it's a surprise.
I'm just kind of taken by surprise by this discussion at this point with no real advance notice.
It wasn't anticipated on my part that this would be something that we'd be entertaining right now.
This is news to me.
I don't think that the body has had any purview. I didn't have any purview.
And now that they're grasping the what, some of them wanted to know the why.
I mean, if it's a personal issue, then I understand, but I just need to understand.
And the why? A recurring theme throughout the meeting.
And I can comfortably say, humbly, I have accomplished my goals. Having accomplished those goals, we've accomplished our goals. We've accomplished that goal. My goals have been accomplished. And really, it's very humbling to be able to do so in such a short period of time.
Kind of reminds me of that kid back in school who's the first one to hand in his test, but when the teacher gives it back, it's full of red pen marks. All this talk of torches, I started to feel like I was watching the Olympics.
Pass the torch on to another individual. It is prudent to know when to pass the torch. I'm passing the torch. I am interested at this point in passing the torch.
All of San Nicolas's talk about accomplishing goals led me to wonder, what goals was he talking about?
To build out a process that was rules-based. Another goal was to ensure that our website was up to speed, to fully transition the building, fully documented all of our rules proceedings to date, enhance the productivity of the operation.
Okay, so you documented things, made a website, and followed the rules, except when it came to the rules about you resigning from the Committee on Rules? And if the legislature's saving so much money, why have they paid over $20,000 for water since the beginning of the year? To run a sprinkler system that goes off up to 4 times a day, even during rainy season? With all that water, it's sure going to be hard to keep that torch lit. Now, it was nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and some of the senators were getting hangry.
Especially since we haven't had lunch. And we've gone back to back, and most likely we'll go into another committee. Perhaps it's an opportune Snickers commercial time.
Oh, the senators didn't eat their lunch? Well, if you guys didn't ban people selling lunch plate at Legislatura and Guahan, you could have had something to eat during this meeting. And the colleague San Nicolas nominated to replace him was the one who ended up saying, break Naza.
I think that would be good, and I think that we can hold that for a later date. It's a lot to regurgitate.
I'm pretty sure she meant it was a lot to digest, but she just used the word that means the exact opposite of digest. Let's fast forward a little bit. Long story short, I hope Senator Tolina had insurance because she got wrecked when Speaker B.J. Cruz broke the Committee on Rules into 2 committees. One to be chaired by freshman Senator Resolution Regine Bisco-Lee, and the other to be chaired by Senator Dennis Rodriguez.
I don't want to use the word disturbing because it's very negative, but it hurts my heart.
Moral of the story for Senator San Nicolas and Senator Tolina: don't play with fire, because you just might get burned. Ooh, burn! Office Chief, can I get my old office back? Move this demotion off the road.